Hi, this is Professor Mcallister. I'm here at the College of New Rochelle with one of our graduates from back in the 90s, I believe, Vera Edwards. He's an up-and-coming filmmaker. So we're giving away books today. So we happened to run into one called The Art of Filmmaking. So we were kind of analyzing Spike Lee's movie, Crooklyn. And I described to her what the author was saying about how he opened up the movie. So what's your take on that particular scene? Is it similar to your style of filmmaking, Vera?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
A lot of videographers, when they have to remember that you know what's in the script, but wherever you're trying to go, you need to be able to have particular shots that the audience can follow. And one of the things that Spike Lee has done is he brought that to life by showing all the different variations of life in itself in Brooklyn to keep you interested.
Oh, okay. So do you shoot to edit or edit to shoot?
I shoot. I just shoot, then edit. What I do is I actually carry my camera around with me a lot, and there's certain parts, like you can go, like I live in the Bronx, and I actually take what they call B-rolls. I just take shots of things that may be odd or something that's noticeable, so I can keep it as footage for later on in my movies.
How about the format of a screenplay? Is that important?
Yes and no. Yes and no. The format is there is a particular format that you have to follow, but there are directors and producers like Quentin Tarantino that have their own format. I have my own format. I try not to copy a lot of people's formats. I develop my own style, and sometimes you have to understand that it's about the flow.
Okay.
You know, the flow is very important. Once you see a script versus non-scripted, and if it's scripted, then you have to follow a particular format. But if it's non-scripted, then you just go with the flow. Okay. The flow of things, and how everything feels and how things look, and that's what I do. I do that a lot.
Okay, because I know a screenplay is based on 3 acts. Basically, Spike Lee opened up the movie the way he did to set us within that Brooklyn community. Crane shots from high above, different angle shots, people playing domino. So basically, the establishing shot in the beginning of Act 1 is very important, because that's like the inciting moment where either the audience is going to stay to watch your film to completion, or they're going to walk out.
Right.
So are there bad films out there like that?
Oh, yeah.
That don't start out right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of films today, if they don't, basically, society is the attention span is very short with all the computers and the little iPhones and the little Androids and the little tablets. If you don't catch their attention right away, they'll turn it off. They're quick to give you a dislike on anything. So with that said, is that you usually have to jump into everything to catch the audience eye. Once you get them in that first 10 minutes, like I would say about 10 minutes, you have them.
Good.
It just has to be something. Usually somebody open up telling a story. Sometimes people tell a story. Sometimes people will just starting with action, like somebody running. And if you just see somebody running and they're panting, you're going to stay to say, hey, what's going on with this person?
Right.
You're curious. And that's what, you want the curiosity of the audience. You want the audience to just say, hey, what's going on? You want to also give some mystery versus just going direct.
All right. Now, I have further questions, but right now we're going to take a break, all right?
College of New Rochelle, and we're here with Professor Mcallister. Professor Mcallister, can we have a little background about yourself?
Yes, I was raised in Brooklyn, Brownsville, then I moved to Crown Heights, and I attended public school there, Lefferts Junior High School. Then I went to Erasmus Hall High School with Bernadette Stannis, who's Thelma on Good Times. She went to Juilliard for dancing and ended up being an actress. I was accepted to Howard University. I was on the baseball team at Erasmus. And when I went to Howard, I was encouraged by my friend Will to try out for the baseball team. I tried out and I got a full scholarship. My father encouraged me to major in electrical engineering, although I knew nothing of it in high school. I wasn't taught that. And I went down to Howard, selected that major, which was actually transmission and distribution of power. Subsequently, I worked as an intern for 15 months for Virginia Electric and Power in Alexandria. And for 15 months, I kind of saw that would have been a dead-end job for me, because a lot of the technical crew and the blueprints were kept up to date by engineers. And I saw that basically it became rote work over and over and over. And I prefer having a dynamic career. So I took some time off, learned how to play the flute. I'm a jazz flautist, saxophone. I went to the Brooklyn Conservatory of Music. And then I transferred to City College, heavy engineering school and science, 11 Nobel laureates up in Harlem, and I majored in computer science. So out of 97 credits, 73 went into computer science. That's why I got an undergraduate Bachelor's of Science and a Master's of Science in computer science with a 3.85 GPA and a graduate citation. So after that, I was hanging out with the television crew, a student-run television station. I became president of it. It was about the same time President Obama was running around my circles in the NAC building in 1985, because he had just graduated from Columbia, did his internship at City College for 4 months, and helped a lot of residents of the Harlem community with litigation type issues. Subsequently, I met director from the College of New Rochelle, John O'Connor campus, Dr. Marguerite Koch, who got me started in the career of teaching, because I used to do her shows called Expression of Experience. We used to shoot at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, which is our local public access cable channel, and I've been here ever since. This is my 20th year with the College of New Rochelle. I know there's a transition period going on with the school. We'll no longer be here, so I have to get a backup plan. But let's get back to filmmaking, right? You asked me something about the character, right?
Yes. Is character important in filming?
Character is even more important in real life. The thing with the big screen is that it reenacts, hopefully, the real world. Right now, the industry is moving more towards digital animation, cartoons, and things of that sort. So I don't know how long that's going to last, especially with big companies getting into it in that direction. But I rather film real people, because we don't live in that virtual world. This is a real world. So basically, when you study filmmaking, because I took a lot of courses at City College, China Clark, a prominent of China Light Pictures, she used to work with big stars back in Hollywood, teaching them screenwriting. So the first thing they teach you is a book by Aristotle called The Poetics, where he talks about the tridimensionality of a character. You have your physical, you have your psychological, and you have your social. So basically, when a criminal commits an act and they put an all-points bulletin out there for a suspect, the police, they have to have a description first. 5'7", light skin, big afro, a gold tooth, talks like a doofus, a hustler. The next one is the psychology. How does this person think? Right? Are they psychotic? Are they schizophrenic? The last one is the socialization aspect of a character. Who do they hang out with? All right. So when you mentioned Spike Lee earlier, setting up Crooklyn in Brooklyn, that was a social aspect of it, of the neighborhood. You don't have to hear any dialogue. It's just the visuals is working here. So he sets the tone in the beginning of the film to draw the audience in. Let me know what this neighborhood is about. I mean, I see all these characters in the beginning. They're nonverbal. They're just doing things, playing dice. Somebody's rolling CeeLo on the side. Then he has a crane shot from up in the fire escape, coming down and getting closer to the action. So you want to get closer to the action. So basically, that's the tri-dimensionality of a character. So when you write a script, you fade in. Then you do your slug shot. Establishing shot. Is it interior? So obviously, this is an establishing shot. Time of day, location, Brooklyn, scene 1. And then you have your narrative where you speak about what's being shot in very descriptive terms. All right, that's a narrative. Then if a character says something, then you put the character's name in caps, and then the mood that they're in, which is usually an adverb. It ends with an ly, angrily, slovenly, words like that, and then you do your dialogue. So that's basically the important thing, the tridimensionality of a character, very important. Go ahead.
Okay, we're going to go into a break.
All right, so I'm back. Vera just got through interviewing me. Now I'm coming back to her to close out this show. Vera, what do you want to call this show, man? What do you want to call this show?
Perception.
Perception.
Maybe perception.
Very interesting. One word? Give me 3 words. Come on.
Life according to Professor Mcallister. How's that?
No, we're going to stick with perception. Perception in film.
Perception in film, yeah.
There you go.
There you
right. Hosted by Professor Mcallister
That's
and
right.
filmmaker Vera Edwards.
That's right.
So how do you want to close out this new show, Perception in Filmmaking?
Okay. How about this? Every time you open your eyes, you are a camera. And each and every day, you look out, you record. And you record everything, but your eye is the lens.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to make sense out of all of this.
That's right.
And when you go to sleep, it renders everything you saw the whole entire day. And it turns it into a short film. And that's your dream.
Listen, I can't go beyond that. So I'm closing out the show, Vera. So it was a pleasure interviewing each other. This is our debut show. And hopefully we'll have more. All right? Right on cue. They go to phone calls coming in. All right, it's the live audience. So let me take this call, okay? Maybe they got a question for you. We'll find out next time. Take care.